MTG Scoundrels, it's in the cardboard. Ladies and gentlemen, scoundrels of all ages, welcome back to another episode of Modern Weekly. Today on the docket, we have Eldrazi Agro against domainzoo. Looks like we have land to land, second Tron land, and a Chalice of the Void on one. Looks like cracking here. Finding a Triome, going to 19. Looks like, not sure if that's really the Triome. Nope, made the decision. So it looks like there was discrepancy here, specifically about the card draw. As far as we can tell, looks like fetched actually after the card was drawn. So the domain player went ahead and played their land tapped here. Eldrazi Temple into Walking Ballista. Passing the turn. Land for turn. Looks like a forest. So we're going to stop it right here and point out a slight issue. Specifically, the Leyline binding cannot be cast for 1 mana. Savai Triome, in fact, makes a swamp, a mountain, and a plains. Temple Garden makes a green and a white. And that is only 4 colors, and Leyline binding needs full domain to be able to cast it for 1. So we apologize, should have been cast for 2 here. While I have this paused, just a reminder out there, everybody has fancy lands. There's so many different arts of everything. While it was rather inconsequential, just, call a judge if you see it. If not, just pay attention a little bit and make sure they have the full color range. Domain's not an easy deck to play, and Magic the Gathering is hard. So make sure to give each other grace when it comes to this sort of thing, unless you're in a REL tournament. In that case, definitely call a judge. Thank you for allowing me for that little PSA there. So the Chalice of the Void going under the Leyline binding. And a Neshoba Brawler coming down. And as you'll notice, caught it here, didn't catch it on the Leyline binding. But it is, up to both players to maintain the board state. Urza's Saga here. Into a Reality Smasher. Haste and Trample, coming in for 5. Looks like Brawler is blocking. 2 damage, tramples over. Passing the turn. There's the other triome. There is a Tribal Flames. Of course, Reality Smasher has this extra little bit of text on it that essentially is ward. To target it with an instant or sorcery, you do in fact have to discard a card. And there is a Wild Nacatl. Untapping and drawing. Saga trigger. Looks like Cavern of Souls there, naming Eldrazi. And there is a Basilisk Collar. Fun combo here. You attach the Basilisk Collar onto the Walking Ballista. You can start killing things because it has Death Touch and lifelink. There is a Fable of the Mirrorbreaker. First chapter creating a 2/2 Goblin Shaman token. Attacking in for 3 and taking the 3. End step, make a construct. Making another construct. As we search off the Urza Saga here. Yep, finding the Expedition map. The hits mainly are that Basilisk Collar and Expedition map, and occasionally a 1 of or 2 of Relic of Progenitus. Voltron Online. Interesting decision here. Yep, looks like attaching the Basilisk Collar to the Walking Ballista, adding a counter to the Walking Ballista. Still got 1 mana floating. Looks like we're dismembering the Wild Nacatl. Alright. Bringing us to 13 to 17. Walking Ballista, shooting down the Goblin Shaman. Bringing us to 14 to 17. And attacking in with the Construct for 5, which will bring us to 14 to 12. Looks like discarding a card to the second chapter of the Fable, playing a land for turn. Casting a Territorial Kavu. Forest for turn. Chalice on 0 to add that artifact count. Looks like 8 mana, putting 2 counters on the Walking Ballista. Using one of them to shoot down the Kavu, bringing us to 15 to 12. And attacking with the team. Game 1 going to Eldrazi Agro. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. Just a reminder to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Be a friend, tell a friend. We're always looking to grow the channel here. Of course, in the description you can find timestamps of the individual games, as well as deck lists for each player. And of course, if you are looking to get tokens, one of our friends here that occasionally plays on the channel at Arcane Artistry makes tokens, so definitely check out their Etsy in the description below. They currently have food, clues, and treasures, and of course in their next batch are looking to do orc armies and a few other key pieces of the modern format. Not a lot of sideboarding decisions here, I don't think. Alright, moving into game 2 here. Looks like the domain player is going to 5, or excuse me, going to 6. And they are on the play. There is a Leyline of the Guildpact, a card that immediately made waves in Modern. We haven't seen it too much on the channel yet, but man, has that card been a house. Turn 1 expedition map. And there's why it's a house. Scion of Draco. Essentially, a card that says, well, it essentially gets cheaper for every land type. So it becomes a 2 mana 4/4, but then it gives certain qualities to every creature with a specific color. There's an Eldrazi Mimic for turn. Specifically, protection is the key thing there. Also, vigilance and lifelink. Territorial Kavu played there. Attacking in for 4, life swing, going from 16 to 24. Yeah, each creature you control has vigilance if it's white, hexproof if it's blue, lifelink if it's black, first strike if it's red, and trample if it's green. Eldrazi player cracking a map here. Not the best spot to be in. Finding an Urza's Tower, playing it for turn. Well, no, decided against the Urza's Tower. Decided to go for the Eldrazi Temple instead. Plays the Eldrazi Temple into a Basilisk Collar and passes the turn. Attacking in with both. Trigger from the Nakatl. Or, excuse me, trigger from the Kavu. Discarding and drawing. Bringing us to 7 to 33. And there is another Kavu. and scooping them up. Game 2 going to Domain Agro, or domainzoo as they say. Once again, thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. Like and subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend, leave a comment below stating what decks you want to see, what cards you're excited about from Modern Horizons 3. I know myself, I'm excited for all the Eldrazi stuff. But some of you may have been scarred by Eldrazi Winter and want to go a different direction. Alright, here we are going into Game 3. Finishing up mulligan decisions here. Alright, looks like both players... Yep, both players going to 5. Tale old as time. Tron Land Expedition map. Looks like we have a mine down there. Savai Triome. Chalice on 0. Endless 1 for 1. But whiffing on the second land, that's tough. Fetching here, going to 17. Finding the breeding pool. The land that probably should have been found in Game 1, but nonetheless. There is a Scion of Draco. Do we see a second land? Aha, we see a second land. Eldrazi Temple. Going to 16, casting Dismember. Attacking for 1. No more Scion on board. Passing the turn. Second Scion of Draco. That'll do it. Nothing like getting rid of the first one and... Oh, I'm back. Eldrazi Mimic. Off of an Eldrazi Temple. Another Triome here for the Domain player. Going to 15. That domain list is just such a house. Fetch land here. Cracking it. Going to 14. Finding a plains. Four mana. That's a Leyline of the Guildpact. Sometimes that's just how it goes. Attacking him for 4, gaining 4 life. Bringing us to 12 to 18. End step, cracking the expedition map. Tough spot. What land do you get in this situation? You're staring down a Scion. You can't really block it with what you got on board. Getting an Urza Saga here. Guess the idea is eventually have it go and get a Basilisk Caller. There's a Chalice on one. There's a Leyline binding, targeting the Chalice. The funny thing here is the Chalice only hits so many things. Maybe Ragavan, Wild Nacatl, Lightning Bolt, that's about it. There's an Eldrazi Mimic. Sitting at 8 to 22. Land for turn, swinging in. 4 to 26. And scooping it up. Tribal Flames finishing it off there. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. Domain Agro here, domainzoo, taking the third game and the match. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend. We're here weekly with modern paper magic. We will be back next week, as such, with more paper magic. So thank you again. We will see you all next week.